But I want to tell the boys and girls a story this morning that centers Abraham Lincoln. He probably is one of the greatest heroes in my mind that our country has produced. A man from the great state of Illinois that my wife came from too, you see. So a lot of that heritage, you see, comes through. Abraham Lincoln was traveling by stagecoach one day. You know, that was the mode of transportation in that day, basically a wagon, you know, with 4 or 6 or 8 horses on it. And Lincoln was traveling. And seated next to Abraham Lincoln was a colonel from Tennessee that had served in the armies of our country. And they were having a conversation and talking together as they traveled. And during the course of events in their travel, this man pulled from his hip pocket a little bottle with some spirits in it and offered some to Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln thanked the man and said the sip and put it back in his pocket, and their travels continued and their talk. After a little while had passed, the man took from his vest pocket 2 cigars, and he offered Abraham Lincoln a cigar. Said, if you wouldn't drink with me, perhaps you'd smoke with me. And Abraham Lincoln asked that man a question in this form. He said, I'd like to ask you a question. I'd like to have you answer it for me. Many years ago, I stood by the bed of my mother. I was about 10 years of age, and my mother was gone. And Mother said, Abe, as you are now a young man and growing into adulthood, I want you to make me a promise. Abe, can you promise your mother that you'll never drink and that you'll never smoke? And he said to this colonel, I promised my mother that I'd never drink whiskey, that I'd never smoke. Now he said, tell me, should I smoke with you? The man put his extra cigar back in his vest pocket, and he said, Mr. Lincoln, I wish I had made a vow like that when I was 10 or 12, or even I wish I could do it today. And I'll never again ask you to drink or smoke with me. You know, young people, I believe that you and I, even though we may not make that vow to our mothers or fathers, I think it would be good to do that. But I believe in early life, today, we should make that vow to our Heavenly Father that we would never take anything into these bodies of ours that would defile and destroy them. And I believe that our greatness in that decision can be comparable to the greatness of Abraham Lincoln. I want to tell the boys and girls a story this morning that centers around some strawberries. That we lived in an area